Okay, I'm live, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, I am live, guys. I am live on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This actually looks really, really amazing. This background, I don't know what this is. I don't know why this looks so crystal clear, but it's amazing. Okay, so welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday or Thursday. I have no idea what day of the week it is, but I am happy to be here. I'm happy to be going live with you guys. So, welcome to live. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to my YouTube channel. First of all, we have 5,000 subscribers. Yay. We also have, I feel like, over 200,000 views, which is amazing. So that means that people are searching beauty supply, and I'm all for it. I am all for it. So, like I said, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Janice Fredericks. I'm the retail genius online, and I help Black entrepreneurs get into this industry. Okay, one store at a time. We have an amazing mission to open 100 Black owned stores this year. So we're excited about that. One thing that I shared with you guys who are on my email list is we have an amazing store that's launching in Canada next month. So we have a few stores in Canada that's launching, like all came in at the same time, which I thought was super super unique. Because I'm like, how are these Canadian people finding out about me? Like, how y'all seeing my stuff from Canada? And I was like, so here for it. So we have been working with one store that's launching in a few weeks, and the tariff thing is has already been happening in Canada, y'all. Like I feel like most of the world, like Trump came out with this like long list, and he mentioned all of these countries, a lot of Asian countries, but it's already been happening. Like we've already been navigating the tariffs, and one thing that I will tell you guys about the Trump tariffs is you're gonna have to be really strategic about who you use as vendors, and you're gonna have to be really creating some serious relationships with these people because there's gonna come a time where they're gonna have to raise prices, you're gonna have to raise prices, they're gonna look at shipping differently. Like you're gonna have to start looking at those things. So you know that we get a lot of our inventory from China, from overseas, and you're gonna have to start looking at like either going direct or just using different vendors. Or if you have like relationship with vendors, like trying to figure out, how can you guys work with me on my orders, or start to negotiate like terms, or free shipping and things of that nature. So when you guys open your stores, right, they don't give you terms right away. So what is terms? Terms, when you have terms with a vendor, that means that they are willing to actually ship you products to your store, and basically allow you to sell the product without paying them for a certain amount of time before you have to pay. So when we talk about net terms, we have net 30, which means you have 30 days to pay your invoice. So that means you essentially have 30 days to try to like sell your product in order to pay this invoice. They have net 60, which is you have 60 days, and it goes up from there. Net 30, net 60, net 90, net 120. That allows you to have time to sell the product. That will also be helpful in the season where you need to guard your cash flows, right? So these are all strategies and things that you guys have to really start to consider with the new Trump tariffs. Another thing that I often tell people, and when I'm having like clients, when I'm having conversations about these tariffs, because everyone's so worried, rightfully so, is you're going to have to also start to position your store as more than just a store. I shared on my training last Monday, like you're going to have to become a curator of many things, like outside of the experience. You're going to have to become a curator, like more than just a retail store, which we've been talking about this um, since the beginning, like how to set your store apart from the competition, especially when our competition, has mega beauty supply stores, and that's what the people are used to. Like, how do you set yourself um, apart? So, one way is to really start to double down on experience, like start curating experience and having people view you as more than just a retail beauty shop, right? Have people view you as someone who curates amazing experiences in their business establishments. So, that was one other point that you're going to want to do um when looking at, like, how do I navigate this, how do I pivot. Another thing that I actually heard just the other day is, like, Trump is already saying that the tariff to China is not going to be that high. If you guys have been paying attention to this, you know I don't know, I don't want to call it a trade war, but, like, Trump has been going back and forth with China on these tariffs. Like, I feel like they came back and said we're gonna raise our tariffs to 120 something percent, 125, something like that, and then we're gonna cap it, because it just doesn't make any sense to go any higher than that, is what China said, and I feel like that was the last thing that they said. But if you guys have been looking, a lot of these manufacturers, like, they've been going on TikTok saying y'all should just go buy with us direct instead of having a middleman, because these tariffs is about to take y'all out of business. So another point that I mentioned when we're talking about the Trump tariffs is not only pivoting and looking at different ways to get inventory at different vendors, but also looking at the fact that you should be doing private labeling at this point. Like, everybody should have their own private label something. And there's plenty of categories for you to choose from. It could be bundles, it could be oils. I have clients that do bundles, I have clients that do oils. I have a client that has actually a full-fledged, like, dry bar, oil bar in her store, like a whole area just for people to mix and um, mix oils, mix scrubs, mix a whole bunch of scents, like a whole experience. It's amazing. Her store is amazing. It's called My Shade and Texture in Tampa, Florida. Um, we've had people do private label accessories, so hair bonnets. So my sister's out in California, and they were doing very well with their hair bonnets. They had private label their hair bonnets, and then we also had people do lashes. Lashes is very popular. I feel like I have done it all, literally. I fajas. At one point, I done it all. Like, I did private label bundles. I did private label fajas, which is like the undergarment. Those sold really, really well. I mean, I feel like if I was going to do something private label again, I would probably do the fajas, because I don't know what city y'all in, but I'm in New York City, and the girls love the fajas. They love the fajas. I don't. It's waist, like a waist trainer. That's waist trainer. Is what the name really is. Um, I would do that. I wouldn't do bundles. That's just a headache for me. I did the bundles, and I did private label lace fronts, and you get a good batch one day and a bad batch the next day, and a good batch one time and a bad batch. So that was a little bit of a headache with the inconsistency with hair. But if you were to go into that, it does make good money, and the margins are great. Margins are great on anything that you private label, because you decide how much you want to sell a thing. So, like, literally, sky's the limit. So um, that's another thing to look at. Uh, so another thing that I want to mention is the shift that took place before the tariffs were even talked about. So the big shift, or the bigger picture that I want to talk about tonight, is that a bigger shift took place when there was that DEI shutdown. When it was the DEI shutdown, I was talking about this with you guys as well. A lot of Black consumers started being super intentional about their Black dollars. And I'm telling you, every single time I turn the news on, there's another activation to support Black businesses in some city somewhere. So literally today, I saw on the news that they had this big activation in Chicago where they had like 100 or so Black owned businesses in some community where people just came and supported like a pop up. It was like a street fair pop up kind of situation in Chicago. So every single day, guys, I'm seeing people do all of these Black initiatives, black shop Black, all the things. So I feel like these big brands that wanted to like leave DI behind, like they're suffering now. Like I saw the other day, just yesterday, Pastor Jamal Bryant had a conversation with the CEO of Target because he's leading the 40-day boycott and he's got it. Like Target lost something like $2 billion since the boycott. That $2 billion, even if like the smallest fraction, a third of that, right, was to the hair care market, right? 2 billion, a third of that was probably on the hair care brands. That was probably one of the biggest. Like if the 2 billion was lost to Black people not shopping, and then we look at what Black people are shopping for in Target, I am telling you, half of that money is probably being spent on hair care. I bet my last dollar, half of it is probably being spent on hair care. So if half that money, half of 2 billion, 1 billion, and then we're talking about how long? It hasn't even been, I don't think it's been a month, y'all, but it hasn't been that long to lose that amount of money. So if half of that money was to hair care products, 1 billion in whatever 30 days, and it hadn't been that long, that billion gets recirculated back into Black owned beauty supply stores that have the products that y'all was going into Target for. Imagine that, right? Imagine that. That's the bigger picture of this conversation. The point is, Black people are still spending. Okay, Black consumers are still spending. There's a reason why they study Black people and their spending habits, because we spend the most. So people need to find out where are the people now buying their products, right? So this is our opportunity, right? To create our own spaces, to create our own seat at the table, to open our own beauty supply stores. This is our opportunity to private label our stuff because of these tariffs, to now be super creative about our product mix because these tariffs, and pivot. The stores need to be open because the Black people are buying their products from someplace. And I'm telling you right now, Black women, when they want their beauty products, they want it now. I want to be able to walk into a store and buy it now. So that is the biggest shift, y'all. That is the biggest shift. So, like I said, the stores are getting open. There's a store opening in Canada in a few weeks. Despite the tariffs, we pivot. We look at how we're going to buy things. We look at our vendors. We look at pricing, and we pivot. I don't believe these tariffs are going to last forever. I don't think they're going to last forever. And so I think that it will be a good thing for you guys to like pay attention to what's happening, like pay attention to the news, look at your pricing. If you guys already have a store, you want to definitely make sure that you guys are watching your invoices, because these vendors are also not going to tell you when they decide to raise. Some of them, they may tell you, they may have some decency and tell you, but for the most part, what I've experienced is that these vendors, they raise the prices and they don't say a word. They just raise it. And when you look at the contracts, they say that we don't even have to give you any notice if we raise our prices. Like, you just have to pay attention. So you, as a business owner, have to do your due diligence and pay attention to your invoices. Pay attention to how much money you're spending. Pay attention to the amount that you're ordering. Pay attention to all of these things, to the amount you're ordering and to the amount that these vendors are actually shipping you. Pay attention to how long it takes them to process the orders. Pay attention to how long it takes them to ship the orders. Pay attention to all of that. Like right now, you guys really have to be diligent when it comes to your ordering processes and the vendors that you're going to be using. I would be going back to every single vendor right now that's in my arsenal, that's in my Rolodex, and I will be price checking and cross referencing every last vendor right now. I would be doing a full overhaul of everything. I would be looking at my entire product mix, and I would actually be niching down, because right now it's time to really like brace yourself, because we don't really know how long this is going to last. I don't believe it's going to last forever. Certainly I don't believe it's going to last beyond Trump's term, but I don't think he's going to keep this up. Like, I feel like he's backpedaling already. I feel like all of these big box retailers are now seeing like, oh wow, Target lost 2 billion in a month off of this boycott. We're not messing with it. So I think, and on top of that, guys, these big box retailers, their shareholders are suing them. Like the shareholders of Target, they are suing Target because of this boycott. The president and CEO of Target and all these big box retailers, Walmart, all these other stores, they recently had conferences and meetings with the president. So, like I say all that to say, I don't believe this is going to last forever, but it doesn't mean that you take your hand off the wheel. I need you guys to be paying attention. I need you guys to be diligent in this season. And if you are hopping in, because I'm about to wrap this up, go ahead and watch the replay of this, because there's a lot of information in here. But we move forward. We 1000% move forward with our stores. You don't let this pause, stop. Maybe next year, no, because somebody else is gonna open a store. If you think you're gonna do this next year and you want to see how it goes on, I just would not stop. I would not stop, because DEI right now is greater than this tariff conversation. The conversation around people actually boycotting Target is bigger than the tariff conversation. Because if you open a store and we are still boycotting these big box retailers, and right now, my current clients and people that I've mentored for years, they are seeing their highest months. Like, they're seeing a resurgence in their sales because people are going back to being intentional about their dollar. However, guys, we need to make sure as a community that this is not just another trend. Like, it's super trendy. Like, it goes, like, we go up and down when it comes to supporting Black owned businesses, and it just needs to be the standard. That's really what it's going to take at this point. Because when we had the Black Lives Matter movement, we saw this increase in spending with Black owned business because people were super intentional, and there was this movement. And like, it's like people are going up and down, guys. We just need to, as a community, just really stick together, be solid, and consistently just support Black owned businesses the way the Asians support Asian owned businesses, the way the Arabs and the Indians support their own, the way the Jewish support their own. Like every other community, this is the standard. So it has to be the standard with Black people. It just does. So guys, I'm going to wrap up here. Big announcement for you guys. So first of all, if you guys are wanting to get started in beauty supply and you want to become a part of our 100 stores launched in a year movement, and you just say, I want to be one of the 100, raise your hand, and then go ahead and click that link and book a call with my team so that we can discuss moving forward. Okay, so you can have a conversation with me about moving forward. Two things that you need to have in place to meet basic requirements of opening a store and getting funding. If you already have your own funding, then you don't have to pay attention to this. But if you're a person that needs funding, basic requirements that I have seen with my clients is that you have a 650 credit score and that your annual salary income is at least 50,000. Because y'all, take 75K minimum to open a store. I mean, I'm talking about the smallest basic store, 75K, no matter like where you are in the world. Okay. And I typically don't even open stores that small anymore. So if you know that you need funding, then give me a call. Make sure you have a 650 credit score. Make sure that your tax returns reflect minimum 50K. Okay, guys. So I'm going to wrap up here. Y'all can DM me as well. Message me on Instagram. I'm at the Retail Genius. If you are watching this on YouTube, which you are watching this on YouTube, you can go ahead and also join my free group on Facebook. It's called the Beauty Supply Black Power Circle group on Facebook. That is our free community. So join the community, y'all. You don't have to have a store to be in this community. Join the community. And also, guys, book a call with me if you are ready to go and you know that you want to be a part of the 100 stores that we launched this year because you need to change your life. Something needs to change. Something needs to pivot. You don't want to be at the same place you are next year, right? Things need to change. You don't want to be at this place next year. I can tell you right now, guys, I do not want to be in this position that I'm in right now next year. I don't want it. I don't want it for myself. I know you don't want it for yourself either. So, guys, have a good night. Thank you so much for joining my YouTube live. If you're catching the replay, type replay in the comments. And I will see you guys on the next live stream. Have a good night.